so that's better. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Radio Apocalypse. It's not the Friday night show. Our weekly chit-chat with the boys about random subjects which may or may not interest you. And two of these have been actually chosen by the general public this week through Instagram. Yay! We have some interaction. It's amazing. So let's just get started, shall we?
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you, for you, for
you. Oh yeah, I've almost got that off to a slick transition there. Astounding. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to It's Not the Friday Night Show. And look at this, I've got new glasses. I can see the screen.
Noise.
Yes, new glasses are the noisy things. It's the thing which I can actually read to the bottom of the computer screen without going, what's that say? I don't know what that says. So it'll be quite interesting. I can even read my phone from a distance now.
Essentially, any plan that keeps you far away from the camera is a good plan.
Yeah, thanks, brother. Yeah, damn you. I should have allowed that to pan out a bit better than I thought it would have. Thank you, Barry. Thank you very much for that. Hold on. Let's get a little bit of music in the background there. I don't know if you guys can hear that or not. We'll have it ticking over. Yes, indeedy. So, what is the Friday Night Show all about? It is just our little sort of panel-based little wonderful get-together with the boys at the end of the week, where we put out a wee call to the wild and say, hey, what shall we talk about? And we had two quite flat, normal type things come back this week. And then one which I threw in at the end there, which is, the first one is we're gonna have a wee chit chat about is what is with Italian food, and the next one is what's the bestest holiday experience, and then something about the zombie apocalypse for the next one, and it will be all the boys that are in. But as per usual, we're not got the boys on camera just now because my processor cannot handle it, but they are in beautiful formatted photo mode on the screen in front of you, and we have all of them tonight. We have Barry, we have Cognac, and we have Jason. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Top of that.
Hello.
You're all good, and I hope that you're all prepared for a proper chat of chits about wonderful, wonderful things. I've even got some photographs of mine. I did put a wee call out if you wanted any photographs. I don't know whether you sent. I'm just looking at this just now. There is no photographs from you, but that's okay. Okay, I have got hundreds. Well, I've got about 4 or 5 of them. That'll be enough for it all. And some of the stuff is actually quite delicious looking as well. So, what have you been up to this week, Jason? Anything exciting?
Just taking over the world as usual.
Taking over the world. What? One person at a time with one little bite?
Me and my lovely queen. We've been sitting on our pillows on the cosmos and looking down at you little monkeys and saying,
yes, us monkeys, and you're in their cosmos. Whatever you have been smoking, I want some of them too. You know?
No, I've not been chasing the dragon. It's not been that. It's just basically me and the missus have been bouncing off each other. So
good.
Yeah,
good.
So I've been there for her and she's been there for me, and she's listening tonight. So I just want to say a big thank you to whoever she is. She knows who she is. And one day she will meet the legend who is Mojax.
Yes, I'm waving to her just now. Hello.
Yeah.
How are you all? Waving. Look, hold on. See, wrong fingers going the wrong way. We'll go this way. I am going past Barry's head through the photograph to scratch the back of Jason's ear on his photograph just now. Yes.
That wasn't his ear.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
I
That
thought it
wasn't
was-
his ear. I need a wipe.
I thought it was
Somebody
a
pass me a
different
wipe.
Fragrant.
Honestly, that. What have you been eating, Jason? That smells funny. That's terrible. Awful. Anyway, and then there's the old Cognac as well. What's the Cognac been up to this week? Anything exciting?
Anything exciting? Nah, I just been singing a lot.
You have. I've been
Little more
joining
than
you in the
usual.
mornings on your TikTok lives. You are some boy, by the way. It's like my morning, but it's your kind of middle of the night. But you balance that out so I can drop in on you before I do the early show here on Radio Apocalypse.
Yes,
and it's
last night
good
they
fun.
did get a peek of your show. I didn't catch it live, but I put it on after you finished. Like after I noticed it was, and I spilled my water. After it finished, I turned it on so they can see the show, and I showed them like the name and everything and how to look it up, just in
That's
case.
great. That's
And
good
just
of you.
like,
I appreciate that. Appreciate
It's
that. Big
I
time.
realized something. If I do videos live from 9 p.m. to 3 a.m. and sleep 3 a.m. to 10 a.m., I get all my sleep, and I still get to see everyone around the world.
That is
For the
a
time frame.
almost perfect lifestyle then. You get to rub shoulders with your Scottish buddies, you know? And that's a big deal. That's a big old deal.
Indeed.
And I've got to say that I do enjoy your wee lives on Tick of Talk. They're good fun. Some of them are completely wacky. Some of them
Is that when I try to sound like the Joker?
it's just when you
hardly.
just sound like anything. To be perfectly honest, you're amazing. It's good fun. It's good fun to watch you. I enjoy it. Sometimes I'll just sit there quietly, okay. But then you notice that I've come into the room, and it's like, oh, he's noticed. I better speak now, you know. And sometimes I've just got you on while I'm doing the dishes as background entertainment in the morning. It's pretty cool. I like it. It's good.
Oh man, that makes me scared now. But like, oh no, so that would be the fault, the one that shows online that I never can tell who it is. I'm like, oh man, I probably told you so much I didn't even realize it. Maybe.
There was that morning as well. I was driving my mum to work, and I had you on in the car, and she was having a good little chortle about you. You were like, "Oh no, I'm gonna have to behave myself and not be crass." Yeah. Hi, Radio Apocalypse's mom. How are you? It was funny. It was funny. It was good. Good. I'm glad you're here with us tonight, Cognac. It's always a bonus when you're here. It's very good fun. And of course, we have our most wonderful man of pretty much. He is my Google. When Google want an update, they plug into the back of his head where he has a USB-C port. And they kind of twiddle his ears a bit to make it the right frequency, and then they upload all the data that they need from Barry's brain onto the interweb to make it run faster. So welcome, Barry. I always love it when you're here. You always keep me right, and at least today, if you want to send me a dingy message, you can do, because I'm not using my phone for anything just now.
Do you know what? I probably will.
Oh, good. I hope so. It's always good. There's always a possibility. Actually, I've got something I'm going to send you just now, Barry, that I took a photograph today, and only you will appreciate this, and it will be a fantastic reaction. Let me just pull this one out just now. Where is it? I need to go back a bit. Oh, don't tell me I didn't take the picture. I did take the picture. Because Alia said to me, "Dad, why are you taking a picture of that?" And I said, "It's for somebody." Oh. I'll find it after and I'll send it to you randomly as we go through. I'm not going to waste any time. I can't see it on the forefront of all my pictures, which is a damn shame. Anyway, we are here tonight, and we are going to be talking initially about Italian food. Favourite Italian food. Let's just put some subcontext into this. I got a message through Instagram. I cannot remember who it was. I'm not even going to bother looking it up just now. But if you're watching, you know who you are. It's like the question was, what's with Italian food? What is with Italian food? Why is it so delicious? Why do some people not like it? And what is your favourite Italian food? So I'm going to put the first couple of little things out there just now. I'm not going to talk about my favourite stuff, but what I like the most about Italian food, in my experience, I've grew up in an Italian household because my stepfather is Italian, and it was fantastic. It was totally a house where everything was made from scratch. The ingredients were fantastic, and they were always so fresh and clean tasting. Sometimes it was rich, sometimes it was not bland but subtle. And one of my most favourite things, combinations, just as they start off with, was the crisp flavour of basil, tomato, and fresh buffalo mozzarella. You know,
I always find it tastes a little faulty.
a little walty,
Faulty.
faulty. Explain. Is this one of your jokes, and I've missed the whole punchline?
No, I'm sure basil tastes fine.
Oh, basil faulty. Oh my god. I can't believe that I missed that. Basil friggin' faulty. And if those people don't get Barry's highly intense dad joke of the night, which I don't think he will be able to scrape the bottom of the barrel any worse. It's so thin for that
Challenge
joke.
accepted.
You know, challenge accepted. But that was quite poor, and it went over the top of my head better than most did, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, I kind of like that crisp flavour. It's one of my favourites, but that kind of, the picture I've put up there just now kind of summarises the colours, the contrasts and things like that. The food is colourful. You eat with your eyes first in Italy. What do you guys feel about it? Jason, what do you feel about Italian food?
Magnifico.
Magnifico. And
I
what?
was brought up in a household that totally adored Italian food in the 70s. You had my grandfather cooking pasta dishes, you had my grandmother making salads, you had me chucking in at the deep end, and all three of us just like working at our own steam at like nothing is going. And the thing about pasta is, the more you eat, the more stodgy you feel. Not necessarily true, because the thing about pasta is, it can be filling, it can be a sweet, it can be a main, it can be a dessert. It's one of these Italian things, but when you eat it, it's always good for you. And the thing is it's universal. And the thing is I've always liked Italian food. I've always liked Italian salads. I've always enjoyed Italian dressings and desserts. But the thing about Italian food is, you said right at the start, it is true. You do look with your eyes.
You do. You eat with your eyes first, and it is delicious, and it's very good for you. Apart from tiramisu.
It's full of protein. It's full of wholesome goodness, etc. And the thing is you get different types of Italian dishes with different people. It gets for Italian, vegetarians. It covers for meat lovers. It covers people who are like 50-50, and some of the fish dishes you get.
Yeah, totally.
Red snapper on a bed of basil with mixed spices and vinaigrette. And
now I tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. Red snapper is one of my most favourite fish, right? We used to sell it when I cooked it in the restaurant. We used to get it. It's something that's difficult to get fresh. It comes in frozen, right, and into this country. But I've never had it with basil before. Now I'm curious. I am going to go and try it with basil and stuff like that. That sounds great. And you've said, you know, what you do eat with your eyes, first of all. Okay, Cognac, have you ever been drawn to Italian food straight away just by looking at it and think, God, I've got to try that. That looks amazing.
Yeah, actually, the last restaurant I did work at was Italian food to work, so I had to learn that it was three things that it took. I had to learn three important things. How does it look? How does it set? And how does it taste?
Wow. What was the second one?
How does it set? So it's like the way it sits on the plate. Will it actually stay looking the same the entire trip?
The way that you dress the plate with it. That we called it dressing the plate when we did it, guys.
And I like Barry. You used a very good term there. The meat lovers. Literally, my thing is like, Meat lovers will rejoice at the thought of tucking into the osso buco alla milanesa.
Oh my god, you said that all in one breath. I couldn't even begin to spell that, let alone anything else. What about bruschetta? Is a bruschetta a thing in your restaurant? Did you ever?
Bread is so good.
Yeah. If you bake that bread fresh and you've got those really vine ripened tomatoes with fresh basil, mozzarella, parmesan. Oh my god. I am roaring with hunger just now.
It's like the adult pizza bite.
Yeah. What was that, Jason?
You know what they say about Parmesan?
Uh-huh.
The smellier, the better.
It is. It can be. One of the things I would say about Parmesan, though, if it's too smelly, didn't touch it, mate. All right. There's a line where you don't want to cross.
Yeah, you want it to smell like a foot, but you don't want it to smell like feet.
Yes, that's good. That's a great way of doing it. Yeah. Barry.
As I should do by my granddad, but the smellier the Parmesan, the better. That's it.
Did he lose his sense of smell in the war?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Don't go with what your granddad says. Go with what Cognac says. You want it to smell like a foot, not like feet. Okay, that's probably the best way to describe Parmesan. And if you get a sweaty Parmesan, put it away. You don't want a sweaty Parmesan. It needs to be quite clean on the outside. All right. You want that sweat away from it. You want to get rid of that sweat. Sweaty Parmesan. No thanks. Barry, tell me about Italian food. What do you like about it? What do you not like about it? And do you enjoy a pizza?
Don't mind a pizza. Quite like spag bol, I suppose.
You've had my spaghetti bolognese, haven't you? Years ago, I'm sure you have.
Maybe.
It's been a while. I'm going to have to cook it for you again. We're going to talk about my spaghetti bolognese and minestrone in just a minute, actually.
I'm trying to remember that far back. I have trouble remembering last week.
Fair dues, fair dues. Okay.
But no, it's not my go-to food.
What is your go-to food? And we'll bring that one up next time.
Probably Chinese.
Chinese is good.
Oh, yeah. Egg foo young, baby. Egg foo young all day.
Yep. Egg foo young? We like egg foo young. Right, okay, I found the picture I want to send Barry. I knew I'd find it while we were doing this. This is just going to be one for Barry. I want to hear his reaction. It's a private joke that I want to share publicly, and you know what you can do. You know who to send this to when you receive it. There we go. That's on its way to Barry now, and he will like that one. I'll wait for the little green tick to come up. And yes, he's received it. That's good. It should be coming up though. Yes, indeed. Right. Yeah. So, good evening, Carmen. How are you? Glad that you've made it.
Of them.
Do you have one of those? I think we should buy one on Amazon for somebody and get it sent to them for a joke. That would be funny. That would be funny. Funny. Anyway, it's a private joke. We will if you are part of the Discord crew, you may get let into that joke at a later date. But it's deeply personal.
Yeah.
It's deeply personal, and it's something that is that's funny as hell. But I saw that in a shop today, this close to buying it, this close, which was good. Anyway, so Chinese is your go-to food. If you had to go for something, if in the Italian menu, anywhere from the heel to the Alps, what would be the regional dish or a dish that would say, yeah, okay, that's kind of quite like that. You said spaghetti bolognese. That's kind of a bulk standard thing. Is there a crisp, clean taste from Italy that you like, brother?
Chicken Parma's good.
Yeah. Chicken Parma. Now, that's an interesting thing. Chicken Parma, when you have it originally in Italy, is done differently from the way they do it in America. Because it's, I'm sure if I remember rightly, that it's more of a saucy based thing than the way that they split and compact and put stuff on the top and grill it again afterwards. But do you know something? I kind of like the American way. It's totally delish, to be perfectly honest. It's pretty good, pretty good.
Is that because we put a whole slab of mozzarella cheese on top?
Yeah, well, yeah, you grate it up, and it's supposed to be like a thick mozzarella and another sort of cheesy sauce thing together. Like you make a bechamel sauce, put that on the top of the chicken, stick it under the grill, and I'm sure that I had it in a sandwich as well at one point. I'm sure I had that in a sandwich. But if it's not been in a sandwich, it should be in a sandwich, because it would be delicious. Maybe like a... You what?
Parmwich?
A parmwich. You know something? We could be onto something there.
It doesn't taste foul.
And you see, I got that joke. And that's actually far better than the basil faulty one, because not many people would have got the basil faulty one. Right, I'm going to move on to two of my most favourite dishes with Italian food. Spaghetti bolognese. I was taught to make my family's recipe for spaghetti bolognese, and my nonna, this is my Italian grandmother, God rest her soul, taught me how to make the tomato sauce, the marinara, that she used without any meat to begin with, because she says the marinara is the base sauce for many Italian dishes, and if you can master that, you can master anything. So cut a long story short, so many Italians, you know, you'll see them cooking the garlic first, you know, seasoning the oil first, and then chucking everything in, cooking it all off, and then add in your tomatoes and things like that. My nonna said if you want it to taste cleaner of garlic, she did put it. Whoa, hold on. Yeah, it was okay. I thought I knocked the mic out there. Whoa. If you want to make it, if you want it to have like the full rounded taste, add the garlic at the start. If you want it to be cleaner and not linger with your breath afterwards, add the garlic 10 minutes to 15 minutes before you serve the sauce. It also retains a lot more of the antioxidants and the healthy part of the garlic if you do it that way. You know, so if you cook garlic till it turns brown in the oil, that's purely for flavor. You will get zero health benefits from that whatsoever. Okay, but you will get health benefits if you do it 10 to 15 minutes before you serve that sauce. It's the same with the basil as well. Okay, if you add the basil about 10 minutes before you serve it, okay, and chop it up quite finely. I don't know, there's an art to chopping basil properly, like you get the leaves and you put them on top of each other, you roll it like a cigar. What?
Basil? I like chopping basil, micro mincing it.
Yeah,
I like to turn it into, I basically form it into a meatloaf.
Yeah, we call them cigars. It's like rolling a cigar. Like you put leaves and leaves and leaves, and you put the bigger leaf at the bottom. You roll it up in that. You get it down on the board, and and you just do. And the knife needs to be so sharp, because if you don't have a sharp knife, it's just not worth doing it. You get it all. Then I discovered an easier way than using a sharp knife. And you know, Gordon Ramsay will kill me for doing this. It's just a pair of scissors. Huh? Roll it into a cigar and chop that thing up.
Dang.
You know?
That would have made it. That's awesome.
Well, I chop dill that way. We do a bit of pickling here in my house now. I've kind of taken a fad to pickling cucumbers, so I can make big, huge, like pickles for burgers instead of like the little things that you get that are about yay big. Not like the miniature gherkins or the miniature pickles, but they're still the chunky ones. But I get an entire cucumber and I chop that into quite thick slices, and then I pickle that myself, leave it in the fridge for about 3 weeks, and use that for burgers. It's astounding. My own pickles on burgers. Highly recommend it. But I chop dill with scissors, and I'm doing it one day, and my highly experienced in the culinary arts of Russia, my wife, okay, my Russian lady says, "What are you doing?" I says, "I'm cutting the dill up." It's just like cutting somebody's hair here, because it's quite a hairy herb. And she's like, "You know, in all my years, I never thought of doing that with scissors." I says, "But you're so practical." And she goes, "No, that's genius." I says, "Oh, that's why I married you. You think I'm a genius." I think she was just placating me, Barry, because you know better than that. Anyway, let's move on. The one thing I wanted...
say it isn't so.
It is so. It is so. Minestrone soup. Opinions, Jason. What do you feel about minestrone? Are you still there?
I love it.
You love it. Good.
I'm
man.
still here.
You're still there.
I love it. The thing about minestrone soup, some people add bacon, some people add ham,
Mm-hmm.
some people add pasta, some
Mhm.
people add vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you can chuck me a bowl of homemade minestrone and I'll demolish it. As long as
Mhm.
it's got crusty bread, I'll demolish it.
Mhm.
Give me a glass of vino, I'm gone. I'm happy. I'm in my environment. I'm in my zone.
Those particular things
Um,
you're talking about there are regional differences for it. And
yeah,
that's
I
the
know.
beauty of Italian food. The regional differences make the food incredible.
The
Like I've
thing-
made 4
the thing-
different types of minestrone before. It's astounding. Love
Yeah.
it.
The thing about Italian food is, as we said right at the start, you look with your eyes, you taste with your eyes, and when you shut your eyes, you're in heaven. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah, totally agree. We like minestrone soup. I'm actually going to think about making minestrone soup, but it has
Do
the
you actually,
what?
Jax, can I ask you a question about
Sure.
minestrone? Do you
Sure.
actually add red wine to it? 'Cause my granddad used to add red wine.
You can do. I personally don't. I think that
You got the kid, you got the kid,
subtracts from the flavour of it all.
No,
But
just
saying
dash,
that,
that's it.
I've not added red wine since my taste buds came back last year. My taste buds are actually younger than my 2-year-old boy because they got completely destroyed during cancer treatment. I mean, we're talking the only thing I could taste was a metallic taste in water. Okay, that was it. Okay, I could not taste anything else, and they said that my taste buds would be disrupted for a very long time. But because I was a bit above a bon vivant and enjoyed my food and my flavours and things, I was very much along the lines of thinking this is going to be a terrible, terrible experience. But they came back, all my taste came back like a newborn child's taste buds 2 months after my treatment finished. They just, because your taste buds, they grow frequently and they change their palette of taste every so many years. So my taste buds are actually younger than my son's. Pardon?
I gotta know.
Yeah.
There was a chef back in the day
Mhm.
that lost his taste completely due to like a disease on his tongue, and during that time, so like by chance, are you someone who could actually taste better with your nose now than your actual?
No,
taste
no,
buds?
no. My taste buds came back supercharged from that. I mean, I can taste with
So
my
you
nose
have
amazingly
both,
well.
and you actually have both abilities.
Yeah.
Essentially, that means for a while you were cooking and the flavor was based off of just smell.
Yeah. But the thing that you've got to remember is I was cooking, I wasn't eating as well because I had lost the ability to swallow. All the muscles around my throat, all my taste buds were completely ripped to pieces because of radiotherapy. You know, I couldn't do anything. I was feeding myself through a tube directly into my stomach. And that was good fun because it was the same nutrient milkshake every day. I just pretended to have like, oh, what are you having tonight, Dad? Oh, burger and chips, pouring it into me. What are you having with that? Well, fish and chips. I'm having lasagna tonight. But it wasn't any of that. It was just strawberry milkshake. That's all it was. No, I can taste. I could tell you which part of the pig the sausage comes from now. To be perfectly honest,
That's epic.
it's ridiculous. And some things are so full of flavour that it's painful to actually have in my mouth because of I've got like adult tastes. Okay, like I will go out and I will buy a beautiful bottle of red wine to go with a beautiful bolognese that I know is going to taste incredible. So I have a glass of this red wine, and the red wine, it's like Vesuvius going off in my mouth, like a big, deep, roaring explosion of flavour right the way around, and it is painful. It is painful, and you just can't. Sometimes I can't deal with it, but it's okay. But minestrone is something I've not cooked it with red wine since my taste buds have come back. It might be something I want to try. I think that'd be quite good. Let's bring up that picture of minestrone again.
By chance, was the pain almost like a lockjaw a feeling?
No. I had full ability on motion of everything around my mouth, completely.
No.
It's just that I couldn't swallow. I just could not. Can you You can't imagine losing the ability to swallow.
That's the problem. Like, I can't.
It's just awful. It's just like when I went for my initial cancer, sort of like, this is what's going to happen to you, this is what we're going to do to you, but don't worry, we will look after you. And I'm like, okay, but it didn't actually sink in that I wasn't going to be able to eat for 3 months, like 3, maybe 4 months. I wasn't going to be able to swallow food. And I'm like, okay, because I was more sort of like, shit, I've got cancer. You know, that's what was going through my head. Shit, I have cancer. What the hell am I going to do? So when it sunk in that I was going to lose the ability to taste things and lose the ability to swallow, it was then like, wait a minute. Food is like one of the most important things in my life. How on earth am I going to manage to, right, okay, we'll just get on with it. We'll just see what we can do with it. And yeah, I woke up one morning, couldn't taste anything. Woke up a few days later, and I lost the ability to swallow completely. I had exercises to do to try and keep the muscles prolonged as long as I could, but that was about it. But yeah, it wasn't fun. It wasn't a fun experience, I'll tell you that much.
But I'm stoked your taste buds did come back, because it seems like it's a chance that they do and don't. So that's pretty awesome. Your body like healed one part that was like, okay, he said he loves this the most.
Yeah.
So we got to heal that.
Yeah. No, that's exactly what it was like. It was like my body was my taste buds were trained from being a chef and having my own restaurant, understanding wines and beers and complementing flavors and herbs and spices and things. It was a perfectly trained palate for it all. And I swear to God, when I lost it, I was heartbroken. And I made up the flavors in my head of things by watching cooking shows on the cooking channel, and discovered many different celebrity chefs' techniques and things. So when something came up on the screen, okay, my taste memory would allow my brain to recreate the flavors in my mouth, in my head, and stuff like that. Obviously it wasn't real, it was just a taste memory. But the one thing that I missed the most, that I was so looking forward to, once I could swallow and I could chew and everything like that, once it all came back, was one of my homemade burgers. You know, because I love a good burger.
That. Right.
You know, it was.
You want to try one?
Yeah, no, I swear to God. Well, I've got books. They're not up there. I've got a book of different burger recipes behind me on my bookshelf. Okay, which I will bring down and show you sometime on the screen. But I make my own recipes. But the one craziest thing, as soon as I could start to swallow again, okay, I started to chew food, I started to swallow it. This was great. I was going in very gently with soft food, and I thought, right, we're going to try burgers. But when you cook a burger from ground beef, from mince, okay, it's not a smooth patty that you have when it's a gourmet burger, because it's kind of still that ground. You just shape it, season it and shape it, okay, and then you stick it on your griddle pan and away you go, right? And when I chewed into it, this is a bit weird. The texture was a bit weird. Then I swallowed it and it really hurt my scar tissue. So I had to find a way to keep the flavors and make them more juicy, because the juicier it was, the easier it was to swallow. And I've got a little secret technique that I use, which I will share with you offline, Cognac. But I won't talk about it online just now, because I don't want to give all my culinary secrets away. Italian
the
food.
mafia will get you, Mojax.
Yeah, the mafia will come and get me. It's not an Italian burger, though I have made Italian
No,
burgers.
we can get back to the Italian food again though. But that's crazy. I realized me and you could probably talk about food for a long time.
Oh yeah, food is food. That's all I can say. It's quite funny because after breakfast, I always say to my wife, "What do you want for lunch?" And she'll say, "No, I'll just have soup." So I've always got a pot of soup in the fridge. Just, you know, people come round, pot of soup. Okay, we're just about to sit down for lunch, and I'm like, "What do you want for dinner?" And she's like, "But we've not had lunch yet." I says, "Yeah, but I need to plan. I need to decide how long I'm going to be cooking for." And she'll just say, "Chicken salad and buckwheat." That's a 10-minute job in my house, which is great. But there you go. Right. Anything else about Italian food? What, you know, that you want to talk about, gentlemen, before we move on to holidays?
My favorite Italian food is a hard one because, as I said, my grandfather and me and my grandmother, we used to all three of us work in the kitchen together like a tag team. But some of the dishes my grandfather introduced me to were just simple dishes, but the most challenging because you had to get the right texture, the right combination, etc. But there's two dishes I always will remember to this day. The first one is carbonara. You cannot be a carbonara because, as I was saying to you earlier, Mojax, and it is true, different regions have got different styles.
That's right.
And the thing with carbonara is some people like it with the egg on top, which is scrambled. Some people like the flaky egg on top. Some people even put a poached egg or even a fried egg on top. But the thing is I always like carbonara, and I call it the devil's dish because it's got cream, it's got white wine, it's got garlic, it's got this, it's got that, it's got boom. I just love it. And the other Italian dish, the other one I like, which is joint first with that, is lasagna. I've always loved lasagna. I'm not Garfield, but I love lasagna. You can give me a whole tray of lasagna and it's good.
I'm actually making lasagna for having a belated birthday celebration for my second youngest and my wife tomorrow. And I've got a great big honey cake that I've got prepared, and I'm making lasagna for it. But yeah, no, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to my carbonara. I like it made with pork, black pepper and Parmesan cheese, and then I will take 4 egg yolks, I will beat the crap out of them, and then just as I strain the pasta and it's kind of the hot water's evaporated off it as you do it, straight back in the bowl and straight in with the egg yolks, mixing it round, because that kind of emulsifies and becomes like a creamy sauce in itself. It's not about, for me, and I have seen my nonna put scrambled eggs on top of a carbonara. I'm like, what in God's name are you doing, Nona? And she looked at me and started speaking to me in Italian, and I'm like, nah, I'm not eating that shit. But she made me eat it. It wasn't bad. But she says this is like the carbonara that her nona used to make, but she made it for me because she wanted me to experience it. And it's basically all the same ingredients. It was a carbonara that it wasn't made with egg whites again, though. It was just made with the egg yolks, but she's kind of did something to scramble those egg yolks, and it's used like 10 eggs for like 4 of us. But it wasn't bad. Well, it was just, you've got to remember, she's not using the egg whites. It's just the egg yolks that she's using for it. You know?
That's a lot of protein, though. That's a lot of protein.
The protein's in the whites, mate. The protein's in the whites.
Oh yeah, sorry. My bad.
But no, it was delicious. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the same as. I would rather have had those 10 yolks for myself in the pasta mixed up. But no, it's just, you mix up the egg yolks, you chuck it in on top of the pasta, you have your parmesan and your spices, you stick that in straight afterwards, you mix it all round and it's ready. But you've also got your pork. I like pork, black pepper, and I like very thinly cut red onions through it as well. Delicious. But lasagna's tomorrow night. I might make a bit of content tomorrow about how I make my marinara sauce, and get that splashed up on the old tube of views for tomorrow. That might be a cool thing to do. But there you have it. Right, good. Barry, you got anything else you want to add about Italian food, or shall we move on to dastardly holidays?
Nah, I'm good.
Oh, good. Right, the second thing that we had tonight to talk about, let me just bring it up on my phone because I can't. Actually, I can do this. Ah, yes. I don't need to do it. The bestest holiday experience ever, spelled wrong, holiday experience ever. Barry, what was your most favourite holiday you've ever been on, and what made it your favourite holiday, and why was it such an incredible experience for you?
Probably the one we just went on.
Yeah, I'm not going to even steal your thunder for that because I am totally jealous.
Essentially, we won money on the lottery, and we decided to go to Florida with it. Well, with some of it.
Nice.
So we went and did that, and literally went to the the Star Wars land area that they just opened up, and it was as awesome as you think it might be.
I'm just heaping
Nothing
jealousy
can,
upon my
nothing can.
shoulders.
You can watch as many YouTube videos as you like. Nothing will prepare you for the moment you turn the corner and just come face to face with a life-size Millennium Falcon sitting there.
Oh my god! I know, that's just awesome.
And you know, there's a Star Wars bar you can go in and actually have real drinks in, with a little animatronic puppet show, and all the staff go in, and there's a whole theme of the electricity goes down, and you've got to help encourage the bot to get it right, and all this sort of stuff. And it's stupid and it's cheesy as hell, but do you know what? Everybody's in it, and everybody doesn't give a shit, and it's brilliant.
That's good.
And it's like I had a Darth Vader T-shirt that I got off Amazon, a very artsy version of it, and the amount of people that just stopped me randomly went, "I love that T-shirt." It was brilliant.
No, it's good. It's good.
While we were there, we did the whole build your own lightsaber thing, which was a great experience. We did the whole build your own droid, which are the two things that we said from the outset. This is what we're doing. Everything else is secondary.
Droids and lightsabers. You can't go wrong with either of those things, can you?
No, and getting them home was actually very easy.
Did they allow that? I mean, they weren't going to think you were going to take over the plane with your lightsaber or reprogram it with a droid.
You'd be surprised. The droids went in the luggage. We went over with a suitcase inside a suitcase.
Clever. Purely
to bring crap back. And what we did is we put the hilts inside a suitcase and put you get like a foam packing tube,
right,
for the saber, and we got both light blades in one tube, and my daughter used that as her carry-on, and I had my rucksack of camera stuff in there, and I took crap tons of photos. And they've got like Kylo Ren and his little people looking for the rebel pilot who's landed or crash landed nearby, and the pilot makes an appearance, and Chewbacca comes out, and there's a Rey that walks around, and Kylo Ren just gives people a hard time and all the rest of it, and his stormtroopers nearly arrested my daughter, which was really quite funny.
Yeah, I was going to say, did they not actually arrest her, or was it just one of those moments?
Yeah, if you're carrying one of the lightsaber bags, they give you a really hard time.
Really?
It's like
carry two.
And they turned around and said, "Oh, it says I killed a Jedi and took it off them." And Kylo just looks at him and says, "He mustn't have been a very good Jedi then." And then walks away. And my daughter wanted to go off with my wife and do some things. I can't remember what it was. I think it was Animal Kingdom or something like that. It was something that they watched themselves. So I said, right, I'm going to just go off to Star Wars. So I went and hopped on the bus, which is completely free from the Disney resorts. Jump on the bus, go straight in. I've got my wristband, my limited edition wristband, which it turns out. Flashed it. You swipe that on the contactless payment on the gateway, and you just go straight through. No mess, no fuss. You get stopped at security to check your bags if you're carrying one, which is no hassle, and then you're straight in. And then you can just that's free. And they've got badges as well.
Badges?
They've got these pin badges, and they've got badge trading.
Oh yes. There's a like a notice board thing that you can put the badges on. Is that right?
There's actually stations all the way through all the parks where you can actually trade with the people there.
Wow, that's amazing.
We bought a whole bunch, and we swapped a whole bunch, and Monkey got really, and my missus got really into it as well. But I just went and just sat around and drank a drink, and had a green slushy thing, and just sat in the shade and just watched.
I need to ask you, did you try the blue milk?
No, because there was a huge, massive queue, and I just could not be asked standing in that huge, massive queue.
Such a shame. I need to find someone that's tried the blue milk.
Blue milk?
Oh,
but
hold on. Did Cognac just ask about Star Wars' blue milk? Did you just?
Well, I didn't. Yeah, I did.
Get out. If you don't know what blue milk is, leave now. All right, seriously.
Well, I kind of figured it was like Harry Potter's Bert's beer thing.
Oh, the beer
Butterbeer.
Butterbeer. Yeah, that's actually, you're forgiven. You're forgiven because it's very similar, but not the same thing. It's blue milk goes all the way back to the very first Star Wars, where Aunt Beru is preparing a meal in the Tatooine house. And does she actually pour the blue milk, or is it on display? I think her or Luke pours. Yeah, I think she pours it. But you get to see it's green milk in the most second from recent Star Wars film, isn't it? Is it green milk that Luke milks from those big whale-like dinosaur beasties on the island?
Well, we assume it's milk. It could be anything, but we shouldn't go there.
Oh my god! Wow. I never thought of that, man. That is disgusting. Oh, navel sweat. Yuck. Ah, barf.
It's only navel sweat. But yeah, no. Get this. The whole Star Wars thing. You know how R2-D2 never stays with the ship.
Yeah.
Do you know he did once?
Did he?
Anakin tells him to stay with the ship, and Anakin never came back, and that is why, from that point on, R2 never stays with the ship.
Wow, that's interesting. How did you find that one out?
Talk about loyalty.
That's loyalty. Yeah. Was that one of your random Star Wars facts from your random Star Wars facts website?
It's just a Star Wars theory. It could be complete crap, but yeah. But no, it's a great holiday, and I can't wait to see what they're going to do once it's all safe to go and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, it'll be a good thing. I'm looking forward to the hotel opening, the Star Wars themed hotel, where you actually become like one of the characters within it as well, which is quite interesting. It's going to be the most expensive Disney hotel that there is, and it's getting treated with like as if it's a cruise. But you're only allowed, the maximum I think is 4 nights in this hotel, and then they have to kind of reset it a bit. But it's going to be spectacular. I hope it gets built, and I hope that I'm in a position to take the fam across there for that, for it all. Let's go. Gracie on a friend's account said that she's poured the blue milk. Yes, indeed, she did. She did indeed. Good. I'm very jealous that you got. I've been to Disney World in Florida 3 times, in my life. Because I used to live in Florida when I was younger. But never have I been there when the Star Wars land was put together. So I'm immensely jealous. I am very proud that you got to go. I remember watching your antics on Facebook very closely, with very envious green facey eyes coming on, going, I want to be there. I think that if there was ever an opportunity for both you and I to go there, we'd probably get into a lot of trouble there. I reckon we would just geek out big time. What do you mean,
probably?
Yeah, probably. We'd definitely get into trouble. It would be crazy. That's a good holiday. I'm going to go straight to Cognac now. Cognac, what is your most memorable or craziest vacation that you have ever experienced, my friend?
Let's see. That would be Washington, Seattle. And it was in the middle of Bigfoot country.
Wow, Bigfoot
as
country.
Well as I got to visit Bob Marley's gravesite.
Oh, what? That would be incredible. What did you feel when you visited Bob Marley's gravesite? What was going through your head?
I couldn't believe it, because to be honest, I didn't even know it was going to be there. It just happened to be in the area, and when I went there, it was like a big mausoleum, like kind of like central like feel, and with a podium, and it had a bunch of his songs from top to bottom inscribed, and a hole in the middle, so anyone could drop any amount of any item into the hole and
You okay, Barry? You're not dying on us, are you?
That wasn't me.
No.
Was it Jason?
Aye.
You're not dying on us, are you?
I'm eating a red apple. But carry on, Cognac.
Okay.
And then besides that, I guess because you said holiday as well, that wasn't as much your holiday. If I had to pick a holiday, it's a separate day, and that's always Halloween. And the reason why is because I usually used to love waiting for the end of the year when they would do Nightmare Before Christmas switchovers in our Universal Studios is what it was.
Yeah, yeah. I want to tell you
And I
something,
haven't been there. I
Cognac.
haven't been there in
I need
almost like 7 years now. But I literally, I loved going there just for the sheer fact of just like standing around with like a Jack lookalike, like Star lookalike. I'm like, I feel like I'm in the movie. It was nice.
I want to
But
tell you something. Let me tell you something, brother. Okay, we don't use the word vacation very often in this country. What you guys call the holidays, that season from Thanksgiving to round about Christmas time. Okay, we don't really call those holidays. We call our vacations holidays. So when I'm saying what's your favorite holiday, okay, that is like a vacation for us over here. So I have to apologize to you for it being lost in translation a little bit. It can be a bit of a cultural difference sometimes between the use of the English language between us. But yeah, if we were going to say a holiday, I think Halloween and Christmas joint put together. Halloween for the grown-up aspect of being able to dress up and look ridiculous and have fun. I dressed up as a murder bunny 2 years ago. It scared the shit out of people in the street. It was like a whole white boiler suit with my murder bunny mask, which I will get down when I bring up. In fact, no, I'm going to get it down now. I will bring up. No, we'll do it afterwards. We'll do it after I've spoken to Jason, because I can bring photographs up and hide, and then put murder bunny mask on. But no, it was that's Bob Marley's grave. I'm blown away. I've never met anybody that's been to Bob Marley's grave. And you said there was a hole that anybody could throw anything into. Was it like, is that go down to his coffin or something, or did it go down to like somewhere next to his coffin?
Yes, the whole family is buried there. So actually, every one of his family members has a predestined spot already marked out.
Wow.
And then his is the very central.
Wow, that's incredible. I didn't even know. When you said Bigfoot country, I thought you were going to say that you're going to get lost in the wilderness or something like that. I was like, yes, that would be fun enough as it is. But Bob Marley's grave, that kind of takes the biscuit. The only sort of celebrity type grave thing that I've ever been to was Lenin's tomb in Moscow. Okay, not John Lennon. Okay, because somebody asked me that one time.
Lennon?
No, not John Lennon. Lenin, the socialist writer from pre-communist Russia. Okay.
In all honesty, there's not much of a difference.
No, you're right. The Russian Lenin could write better song lyrics, probably though.
I got it. Oh,
no, but
awesome.
Lenin in Russia was like, he's like a national treasure. So much so that they embalmed him and they have him on display under a sphere of plexiglass for people to walk past and pay their respects to. Okay, so I had to go and see this. This is one of my greatest holiday moments. Just thought I'd throw it in there just now. It's not the one I wanted to talk about, but I'll bring it up just now. You actually wait in line on a big long queue, and then you walk around. You're not allowed to wear a hat inside the tomb. You have to show your respects by taking any hats off, and you're not allowed to have your hands in your pockets, again to show respect. Okay, and you're not allowed to take photographs inside the tomb either. And when you come into the actual tomb, you come in from one side, you walk up a staircase to a viewing platform, you look at them, and then you walk down the stairs on the other side. And in the four corners of when you enter the room, the top of the stairs, the other side of the top of the stairs, and the bottom of the stairs again, where you exit the room, there is a armed guard at each of those corners to make sure that you take your friggin' hat off, that you don't have your hands in your pockets, because this man inside this plastic bubble is a national treasure. And I swear to God, I have seen better looking things at Madame Tussauds waxworks than what was underneath that bubble. Sorry, Russia, I'm saying it. Okay, I don't believe that is Lenin's body. I think Lenin's body's somewhere else, and they've made a waxwork. It's a dummy, a mannequin dressed up to look like him. I'm going to be hunted down by the Russians now. And did you know my wife has never actually seen Lenin's body? She lived in Moscow.
You're never
at that
going to
time.
be hunted down. They know exactly where you are.
I know. Well, the frightening thing is that my wife is a spy. You know? It's crazy to think that. Anyway, no, that was the only time I've ever been near a celebrity's grave for anything. Apart from Tom Riddle's grave. I've seen Tom Riddle's grave in Edinburgh. Tom Riddle being Lord Voldemort, if anybody knows. You know?
That's awesome.
You know, because the original Tom Riddle was just a Scottish man, and the name for Tom Riddle was taken off that gravestone by the author of Harry Potter herself and used in her books.
And not far from where he's buried, you've got Ebenezer Scrooge as well.
Have you really? So you have? Yes, you have in Greyfriars graveyard.
Yep.
I forgot about that. That's amazing.
Yep.
I apparently was born just behind Greyfriars graveyard.
Really? What,
I'm told
you were
in
born in a house, weren't you?
Apparently.
Amazing. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Very good.
I don't know. I was very young at the time.
Yes. I wasn't there, so I can't tell you where you were born, unfortunately. I would love to be able to tell
Well, the thing is, you'd only been 20 at the time.
Yeah, shut up, man. Honestly, you just think you're so funny. Crazy. Right,
So the word is young.
Jason, tell me your bestest holiday ever, please.
My bestest holiday. Oh, that is a hard one. I thought I was the oldest in the group, but I'm not anymore by a fraction. Anyway, best holiday I've ever had.
Mm-hmm.
It would have to be the mid 90s, and I was in New Orleans. And
wow, New Orleans.
It was before Hurricane Katrina came and said, "Hello, boys, hold on to your nuts." You know, it was before the hurricane redecorated New Orleans.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I have to say, walking in such a city, which is on basically stilts and slants, and you don't pay any attention to it. You just like walk around, and it's just like all open plans.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I was there is because whether Mojax knows, but we play a similar role-play game together once upon a time.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why I was in New Orleans is because I won a competition, and that competition was an all-inclusive flight from Edinburgh to New Orleans, stay in one of the many hotels on Bourbon Street, and attend the greatest ever Vampire Masquerade Ball, hosted by the Queen of all Vampires herself. And I'm not talking about Lilith, I'm talking about Anne Rice.
Oh, really? Anne Rice was there? That's amazing.
She is an absolute legend.
Wow.
The thing is this Anne Rice is the patron of the orphanage where Claudia. Sorry, what was that, Mojack? Corktack?
She's an amazing author. I used to. She was like. Stephen King was like my favorite for a while until I realized there was Anne Rice books.
Yeah, because the thing is when you meet Anne Rice for the first time, you think, who's the old granny? But when you get close up to her, she oozes charisma. She's very polite. She's very, very, very well spoken. Very very, very courtesy-ish. But the thing is when I was there, this masquerade ball. The thing is I actually went up to her and said, "Miss Rice, can I ask you a question?" And she went, "Yeah." And I says, "Where did you get the idea to write the Vampire Chronicles from?" And she goes, "That's a good question, but no one's actually asked me." And I went, "Well, do you have an answer?" Because I'm like, "No, because I've read all the Vampire Chronicles, and I'm on the latest one right now, which I've read on my flight over from Edinburgh." And she goes, "Oh, you're Scottish?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Scottish. I came over just for this gala." And she went, "Have you donated?" And I went, "Donated?" And she goes, "Yes, have you donated to the appreciation for Claudia?" And I went, Claudia being one of our characters, because you see, the orphanage which has the Masquerade Ball does exist in New Orleans. It's not just a work of fiction, it does exist in real life. And all the money and the proceeds of this charity event goes towards the New Orleans orphanage, which Claudia was part of. So I said, right, I'm going to have a rummage around. So I had a rummage around, and the only change I had was a $50 note. So I said, take it. So I put a $50 note in. And then next thing you know is I was given a handful of raffle tickets, because each time you put in so many dollars, you got a raffle ticket back, because Anne Rice was auctioning some of her artwork or some of her scripts from previous Vampire Chronicles or whatever was up for grabs. So I said, oh, thanks. So I got this handful of raffle tickets, and I went and enjoyed the queue wait to see who got what. And I didn't win anything, but it's just the basically the atmosphere of meeting Anne Rice, hearing about her, talking about what the Vampire Chronicles is for her, rather than from us, because we've read her books so many years. Coblack's read them, I've read them. Don't know about Lazy Sword. I don't know if you've read them, Mojax. But meeting Anne Rice was an
I feel like
absolute
we're
legend.
missing Mojax.
Sorry?
We're missing Mojax.
Yeah, he's gone. He's disappeared. I've noticed. He's gone. He's maybe been disconnected. I know his internet's line. But the thing is the whole thing about the Vampire Chronicles is it's all about your imagination. Because the thing about Anne Rice is a lot of people don't like her because she's like overcast or she's overrated. She's not. She's someone who goes and writes not just about the vampires, but she goes into depth and decides the scenery. She describes every character's facial detail. Everyone's got their quirks and all that. And she's also written about Sleeping Beauty, which was adult erotic fiction, which I read. It was a trilogy. They were a good series of books. She's written about The Mummy, which was Ramses. He was a good character. She's also written about the Exodus from Egypt with the Jewish slaves, which I thought was going to be a bit, but it was a good read. That's a trilogy. But the thing is when you meet Anne Rice in real life, she's just very well presented, and she's an all-round good one. And Mojax is back, and I just want to say that it was. I actually had a copy of my Vampire Lestat signed by her, and I was kicking myself because when I got to the airport after my stay in New Orleans, I misplaced my book. I was raging. I was crying my eyes out because the Vampire Lestat is my favourite of all the Vampire Chronicles Anne Rice has ever written, because I like Lestat. I think Lestat is not quite Dracula, not quite David Bowie, not quite Sting, but something from everyone. And I was raging and I couldn't find it. I checked my suitcase, couldn't find it. Checked my overnight bag, couldn't find it. Couldn't find it anywhere. And I said to the girl at the airport, but if you come across it, it's got my name in it, it's got my address in the book, it's signed by Anne Rice, and if you find it, can you send it back to me, please? Because it means so much to me. She says, yes, sir. If we find it, we will send it to you. And I went, thank you. And that was now 30 odd years ago, and I still not received it. So someone's like picked it up, says, signed copy by Anne Rice, I'll have that. And kept it or pawned it or done what they want with it. But it was just the thought that I got Anne Rice's signature, and to meet her was a legend. So that was my holiday of a lifetime in New Orleans for 5 days, 5 nights. And the food there and the atmosphere is just electric. You've got jazz, you've got gumbo, you've got Jack D, you've got sours, you've got humid atmosphere. Like what we've been having in the UK is nothing compared to what the weather's like in New Orleans. It's just like constantly overcast and humid. But it's just lovely. It's just totally lovely.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, no, you've been in and out. Yeah, I can still hear you, both.
Yes. Yes. I too.
No.
Shabu?
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
In that case, I don't want to know. It's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear.
Yes, sir. Oh. But I can hear
So-
you, so that's really weird. Zombie apocalypse part.
Yeah, that's the main thing of the night, Back. Where have you been for the past few days? Where have you been?
Well, I mean, I was just gonna say that, like, if you do a TikTok live later and do your zombie apocalypse part through that, I could invite, like, I could just keep inviting people until I have no one left to invite. Zombies. It's because we were gonna talk about zombies, and maybe they're like, oh no, they've revealed so much of the truth. What if they actually found out about the zombies too? What if they're not joking?
No, it's because
No,
don't need-
no.
all bad mouth
Don't
Russia
need-
and stuff's not working. So
The only zombies we have around at this moment in time is Bojo and Donald T. They're the only two zombies, you know. When West meets East, when East meets West, there you go. Amen. Thank you. Amen. Yeah.
That's what she said. And you know, I can actually say that, but only us as the four will know what that was for a second. So that's cool. Uh,
Mojax says that's all, folks.
It seems that Mojax's mic is not currently working, so us as the three are going to try to relate what he says as best as we can, people.
Aye, see you contact. See you contact. Aye.
Check 1, 2. I can still hear you. There has been some technical issues, folks. We do apologize. I'm going to repeat for Mojax just now. I'm sorry that we are cutting the show short. Because of some stupid technical difficulties.
Perhaps try Discord.
Perhaps join Discord. Oh. That's a good thought, but you know, it's funny is if that works, that'd be pretty cool. I never would have thought of crossing the voice chat like that. Check 1 2, check 1 2. Let's just put you down.
Yeah, at least it's coming through on Discord. At least. Yeah, I could hear you on Discord.
But before it, so we are currently. Am I still being heard currently, or are we actually like off? Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Apologies again. Thank you to Cognac for being my voice. We will be on Discord once we fix my mic, and if you would like to join us, that is where we will be. Now, can I make people's mouths water right before we end? Tender veal shanks braised slowly in white wine, served with an array of vegetables, an aromatic gremolata, a condiment made with lemon zest, garlic, and parsley. That is a buco or osso buco a la Milanese.
I
never got to actually say it. Yeah.
I'll actually
There you
stick with my Nutella pizza.
Oh, Nutella pizza! I want Nutella pizza.
You're welcome.
Sweet. We are gonna go, folks. You all have a delightful night. Thank you for joining us here at the Radio Apocalypse Night Live. I hope you've been enjoying it. Right on. We are Mojax Happy Radio Apocalypse.